Okay, hi. We will talk about leadership management. Definition leadership. Leadership is the said managerial direct skills that an individual has to influence way of being and acting of people or in a spaceful work group, making the team work with exclusion towards. In achievement is its what and objectives.
Then we have examples of concept of leadership. I used to think that running an organization was equivalent to conducting a symphony orchestra, but I don't think that quite. It's more like jazz. There is more improvisation. Warren Bennis.
Leadership, the process of influencing oneself, the group, or the organization throughout the process of communication, decision making, and the deployment of the potential to avoiding as useful, as well as it is the complete deployment of expectation, capacity, and ability that allows to identify, discover, use, and manage and simulated to the maximum the strength and energy of all the human resources of the organization, raising the focus of people towards the more dimensional management of people and goals, which increases productivity and creativity and work innovation to achieve organizational results and the satisfaction of the needs of individuals.
Factors leadership. Leader is must have honest understanding of his you are, what you know and what you can do. Also know that is their followers not the leader or someone else. He determines if the leader is skillful. If they don't, thanks or logs contents is their leader, then they will uninspired to case forward you have to case verse or followers know yourself or you're surprised that you are hardly on being followed.
Followers. Different people require different styles of leadership. For example, a new hire requires more supervision than an experienced employee does. A person who lacks motivation requires a different approach than one with a high degree of motivation. You must know your people. The fundamental starting point is having a good understanding of human nature, such as need, emotion, and motivation. You must come to know your employees be, know and do attributes.
Communication. You did throughout the way communication much of it is nonverbal. For instance, when you set the example that communicates to your people that you will not skin, then you perform anything that you will not be willing to do. What and how you communicate either bonding or harm the relationship between you and your employees.
Situation and situation are different. What you do in one situation will not always work in another. You must use your judgment to decide the best course or action, and their leadership is needed for each situation.
Types of leadership. Charismatic leader. is the one who has the ability to generate enthusiasm. He is chosen as a leader for his way of giving enthusiasm to his followers. They tend to believe more in themselves than in their teams, and this creates problems, such that a project or the entire organization could collapse the day the leader leaves their team. Traditional leader is one who inherits power by habit or by an important position, or who belongs to an elite family group that has had power by for generations. Legitimate leader. The first is the person who acquires power through producers authorized in the legal norms, while the legitimate leader is the one who acquires his authority through the use of illegality. The legitimate leader cannot even be considered a leader, since one of the characteristics of leadership is precisely the ability to convene and combine, so leadership through force is nothing other than a lack of it.
Leader ranking. According to type of the parliament, autocritical leader assume full responsibility for decision making, initiated action, direction, and control the subordinates. Entrepreneurial leader adopt a participative style, use conciliation to practice leadership. He does not delegate his rank to make final decisions and points out specific direction to his subordinates, but he does consult his ideas and opinions on many decisions and concern them. Liberal leader delegates to his subordinates the authority to make decisions. Practice leader promotes the development of people's potential in the way they agree care for and enhance his garden. Audicus leader his power of relative many institutions. Any people persuasive, critical with a positive outlook, he has the ability to consult other people and team make decisions.
According to the formality in your choice, formal leadership pre-established by the organization, informal leadership emerging in the group.
According to the relationship between the leader, his followers, and subordinates. Dictator leadership. Forces your own ideas into the group rather than allowing other members to take responsibility, allowing them to be independent. It is inflexible and likes order, destroy the creativity of others. Autocratic leadership. The leader is the only one in the group who makes decisions about the work and organization of the group without having to justify them at any time. The evaluation criteria used by the leader are not known to the rest of the group. Communication is one way from leader to subordinates. Democratic leadership. The leader makes decisions after promoting group discussion, taking his followers for their opinions. The evaluation criteria and rules are explicit and clear. When a problem has to be solved, the leader offers several solutions from which the group has to choose. Amateur leadership. The leader, while reflecting on the vision that has to move the group towards its desired goal, expresses itself through simple verbal onomatopoeia that notably favor the enthusiasm of the group.
Paternalistic leadership. He does not use his followers. He commonly makes most of the decision, delivering rewards and punishment at the same time. Your job is for your employee to work harder and to be doing with creative motivation and you to enthusiasm for possible rewards if we achieve two goals. Liberal leadership. Leaders fail. The leader has a positive role. Leads power in the heart of a group. At no time does he used or evaluated the contribution of the other members of the group. Group members have complete freedom and they have the support of the leader only if required. Emotional leadership. Emotional foundation are critical for more complete business. The scene in which the organization places leaders for each business. Vision in a decentralized way and also maintains a central leadership is in the form of a federation in this context. Has Warren Buffett put in his paper Becoming a Leader of Leaders. Business access deployment on a balance of power between the central power and business division and the development of emotional leadership with a good dose of conversational skill among all leaders.
According to the time influence on the leader, his subordinates. Traditional leadership, team members recognizing their leader and authority and as a leader. The leader provides the resources considered value for the work team. Transactional charismatic leadership. The leader has the ability to modify the skill or values excuse the beliefs of the collaborators, the mates, action of the charismatic. Leaders are described premise with as has been established and the size or change it a possible for the new activity with the ability to excite the expense his collaborators. The use on excuse visual and enable means to achieve change and be able to take personal risks. Authentic leadership. In the leader, how focus on leading himself first the self labor is brave, comparative, and generous leader. Only one his own mate is the lead can he lead others.
Lateral leadership. It is carried out between people of the same rank within an organizational chart, or it can also be defined as a process of influencing people of the same organizational level to achieve objectives in common with the organization. Longitudinal leadership, also called pyramidal leadership, it is carried out between people separated by hierarchical degrees in such a way that the influence of the leader towards those led is based on the authority and knowledge of the leader. This style is widely used in politics and in some militia groups. Leadership at work. In business, two important characteristics are evaluated in executives with intention of verifying their leadership ability. On the one hand, aptitude, and on the other, attitude. The first is obtained by learning new methods and procedures.
Principles of leadership. Know yourself and seek self-improvement. In order to know yourself, you have to understand your be, know, and do attributes skill self-improvement means. constitutionally strengthening your attributes. This can be accomplished through self-study, formal class, reflection, and interacting with others. Be technical profession. As a leader, you must know your job and have a solid familiarity with your employees' things. Seek responsibility and take responsibility for your action. Search for ways to build your organization to new heights. And when things go wrong, has been often, then to do some or later. Do not blame others and say the situation. Take corrective action and move on to the next change.
Make sound and timely decision. Use good problem-solving decisions making and planning thoughts. Set the example. Be a good role model for your employees. They must not only hear what they are expected to do, but also see. Know your people and look out that there will be. Know who manager on the importance of sensory caring for your workers. Keep your workers informed. Know how to communicate with not only team, but also managers and other key people. Develop the means of responsibility in your workers. Heal the develop good character traits what will help them carry or out their professional responsibilities. Ensures that tasks are understood, supervised, and circulation and communication is the key to his responsibility.
And finally, we have a theories of leadership. For example, by theory of leadership state that there are three basic ways to explain how people become leaders. The first to explain the leadership developed for a small number of people. These theories are some personality traits may lead people naturally into leadership roles. This is the trait theory. A crisis or important event may cause a person to rise to the occasion, which brings out extraordinary leadership qualities in an ordinary person. This is the great event theory. People can choose to become leaders. People can learn leadership skills. This is the transformational or process leadership theory. It is the most well accepted theory today and the premise on which this guide is based.
Management of transitional theories. His theory bases leadership on a system for reward and punishment that is on a system of management of the performance of individuals be leaders in which six is a reward and failure are a point each.
Relationship is transformational theories. Relationship theories, also known as transformational theories, focus on the connections formed between leaders and followers. This approach not only focuses on the formats on the group, but is also interested in how each to the members of the group can develop their full potential.